Brand rankings. So these were presented earlier today on the Voice of College Football X account. So this is our official Twitter/X account. There you see my top 25 that actually makes sense. So this was posted earlier today. So let's understand where this is coming from. This was posted by our Nebraska guy. Justin Adams does a great job on the Nebraska channel. Please check him out every Tuesday at 7 Eastern. Did not include Nebraska on the top 10 brands list. That is who is included. Alabama 1, Ohio State 2, Texas 3, Michigan at 4, 5's Notre Dame, 6 Oklahoma, Georgia at 7, Oregon 8, LSU at 9, and USC at number 10.
Yeah, I mean,
I just, my reaction here is just, I just hope this is plastered in the USC locker room. That Lincoln Riley and the players can see this, coaches and teams that ain't done nothing. Like Brent Venables hasn't done anything. Dan Lanning hasn't done anything, and yet they're posted ahead of USC. Like someone just needs to copy this, print it, slap it on the locker room, slap it on the practice field, goalposts, whatever. Like this is bulletin board material right there.
Thing is, this isn't about the indictment on the team. To me, this is more of an indictment on the fan base. If you and the program, really, to me. If I'm right on this, Mark, this means like marketability of each program. Is that what this is? Like merchandise and eyeballs? I mean, what is this?
His explanation here is, note, recent success was weighted with overall brand impact. So it's quite vague.
Because so here would be my point. If USC is in the top 10, going on the worst, coming off of like a extended decade of being on basically having sanctions against us, having a coach who's coaching the number 3 brand, who was just having a substance abuse program, who seemed to be the right guy, just the wrong part of his life, go through that. And then we have an administration who really just lost the plot. I mean, if anyone wants to speak candidly at USC, this was not all the hate goes towards Clay. Clay gets yelled at, and Helton's burned in effigy. But the fact of the matter is, he's just some dude trying to be the best coach he can. He was enabled by the everyone from the president, the board of trustees, the AD, all the way down. Given an extension at one point, on knee jerk after a Rose Bowl, and yet we're still at 10. We're coming off the worst football we've had. 1950s. 1990s, good portion of it, and then the past 13 years, really the down periods of USC football history. And if we could still be in the top 10 brand in college football, playing the way we have played, imagine when, and I said when, not if, when USC turns this around. Because as much as the haters out there want to say it, USC, all it needs is the right coach with the right administration behind them, and they can play ball with anybody. To be at 10 on this list after what we've seen for the past, decade plus I think is a testament to you. I see it as a compliment more than anything else.
Anything else on that, Matt?
Yeah, also got to just point out Georgia at 7. So it's not just a measurement of success.
To me, it's about who moves the needle from a brand standpoint. And I understand my age, so I think more historic. I would rank USC higher because I think more brand. So I'm thinking about who is recognizable, who moves television ratings, who is a brand that people recognize, the logo, the name. And you guys have run across people that know nothing about college football and have no idea that USC just went 5-7 the year before. But you say USC and it's oh yeah, college football, USC versus Oregon. Okay. Well, but if you're in the current recency of Oregon's brand, the uniforms, Nike, they've been hot, they've been chic. Yeah, I don't think they're necessarily displaced, but I would rank USC above Oregon. I don't have a huge issue with these rankings. And I usually, when we post rankings, I usually tear somebody to shreds. I usually nitpick, and sure, I wouldn't have ranked them exactly that way. And we presented this on our SEC Media Days show today. And our guy Matthew called in or had a number of super chats in which he was appalled at Texas not being number one. And I think I pretty much put him in his place regarding why Texas should not be number one. But that's my perspective. But I think it's a decent list.
If this is purely on eyeballs, and even more so if you're talking about the general population of the United States, the USC is, even with the past decade, is grossly underestimated and should be a top five. Should be top five. If you're purely saying just random people on the street, asking them, about, name a foot. And it's also very geographic. It depends where, what representation you're talking about. Are you in the South? Are you in the Midwest? Are you in Texas? Who are you asking? But I think if you took USC is, I've been overseas and people have given me a fight on. I've been in Heathrow Airport getting fight ons from English people because they know USC. I'm sure they know someone in their family that went there. There's branding, and you go anywhere, you go into New York or people know USC. Listen to our call-in show, Mark. We get people from all over the place that know USC. Yeah. I would find it hard to believe that USC as a brand, when you take out your performance on the field, yeah, this list is not very accurate.
But if you take out Oregon and maybe Georgia, that's a blue blood list. That's difficult to really. 1 through 8, if you take out Georgia and USC and make it a 1 through 8, that's your blue blood list. And it's difficult for me to separate 1 versus 2 versus 3 all the way to 8. I could make an argument for any of them.
Well, I wouldn't have Texas or LSU as a blue blood either, though. Texas, Georgia, Oregon, and LSU to me are not blue bloods. The rest are.
Not Texas.
But that's my definition. I have different definition than you probably have. Texas is.
I think we're only off by 1. I include Texas.
Yeah. So it's a good list. It's a solid list. Eyeballing it from what Justin said, I can't argue it because USC's past performance outside of a couple, 2016, 2017, 2022. What has SC done going all the way back to 2012? It's like. On the field performance has been poor. Has been poor by USC or anyone on those list standards. So we have a super chat. We're kind of
USC football fan. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for the contribution. Feinbaum is attempting to deter SEC country 5-star recruits from coming to USC. He knows once USC starts winning, they can dominate the sport.
Well, if USC does start winning, it doesn't matter what Paul Feinbaum says. So I guess we could just reroute your statement that way. Regardless of what Paul Feinbaum wants to say, if USC is winning 10 games a season, it doesn't really matter what Feinbaum attempts to do. But I see your point. I just don't think Feinbaum actually has it out for USC. Like there's no personal vendetta, I don't think, towards USC at all. I think he's going for low hanging fruit. I think he's going for what he knows will get the big hits. And then there was someone in the chat, might have been Uncle Rico, said something. He's getting exactly what he wants. I don't know. I hope he's getting a lot of like positive push from the people that hate USC. But if you look at that video, I wouldn't watch the video itself, and you see like Heather Denich and some other people's faces when he's talking, like Paul, what the hell are you even talking? Look at their expressions on their faces. Anyone that knows football didn't take that seriously. And it's really a hit to your credibility when you talk that stupid. So I don't know if he got what he wanted. If he wanted to hit to his credibility and get a bunch of his name in the news, but in a negative way, I guess it worked. But I think this one kind of backfired on him, to be honest.
So this is just a tip of the iceberg, but this may help some USC fans discredit what Paul Feinbaum has to say. Here is prior to the 21 season, Paul Feinbaum on Jim Harbaugh. They should fire him now. His scathing takedown of Jim Harbaugh. Bam. There you go. That's how much that's worth.
Yeah.
In terms of Feinbaum on Lincoln Riley.
Not that he has a whole lot of credibility to begin with. I'm saying we could also leave that point there.